My fellow Madridistas, I wasn't going to make a video today, okay? It was not part of the plan. I literally just got back to Madrid. I'm absolutely exhausted, but this is an emergency situation. And by the way, this video isn't going to have pictures or, little musical intros. I'm just going to spill my guts because I am livid. I'm going to try not to cuss in this video. I'm going to make a massive effort not to cuss. This is the worst Real Madrid I have seen in 20 years. You need to go back to the early 2000s and to the early mid 2000s to see anything even remotely close to the catastrophe that we all witnessed last night. Okay, in the last 4 Liga matches, Rayo Vallecano, Elche, Girona, Celta, of those 12 points, we've won 3. Now, in what world and on what planet is that acceptable? This is completely unacceptable. And it's not just that this team doesn't play. It's that they don't even work. Okay, they're doing absolutely nothing. There is no system at all. Okay, the players are on the pitch and they have absolutely no idea what they're supposed to do. They're mostly standing around looking at each other, trying to figure out what they're supposed to do. There's no movement off the ball. Everything is individual. It's Vini against 4, Kylian against 5. There's zero collective play. What the hell is this? This is absolutely, this is the worst Real Madrid. I cannot, this is insane. Do you know, we're a team that uses half the pitch. Do you think it's normal in modern football to have a team that can only attack on the left? Because if you put Fede up on the right wing, he's always, every time the ball gets to Fede on the right wing, what does he do? He passes it back to the middle. Because he's not going to take a player on one. That's not the kind of player he is. He's a great player, but that's not what he does. How can you play with only one half of the pitch? Look, when I watch football from any league in the world, every team that I watch seems to have some sort of system. I always have the impression that every team kind of they know what they're doing. Some guys play, possession. Some guys play the counter. Some guys, whatever, But it seems to me that the players know what they're doing. Not us. We have absolutely no system at all. If it weren't for Kylian's goals, which are a ridiculous proportion of our total goals, and by the way, most of them are individual plays. They're just Kylian sort of, pulling a rabbit out of the hat. If it weren't for those goals, where the hell would we be? This team has absolutely no style whatsoever, and this is a disaster. Xabi needs to leave, and he needs to leave now. He needs to leave immediately. And by the way, he's going to. Okay, so just, check your sort of news feed because this guy's going to leave any minute, and I know that there's an absolute emergency situation at Real Madrid, and Florentino Perez, he knows that he's the next layer, right? First you blame the players, then you blame the coach, but if you don't get rid of those, you're next in line to hear it from the crowd. So he's going to Xabi's going to go, and he's going to go very, very, very soon. Okay, how can it be that Xabi Alonso has been here for 6 months and there is still no style of play, discernible style of play whatsoever? When Hansi Flick came to Barca last year, after 4 months, you could see very clearly the system that he was implementing. There was an identity in the play. You could see it immediately. Well, what have we done? Because it's been 6 months and we don't have any style of play. Do you know that he gave, after the victory in Bilbao, he gave the players 2 days off? What do you mean 2 days off? Since when do you get 2 days off for winning a match? Winning a match is your job, and especially when you are wearing this, okay? You play your heart out. And by the way, this isn't just Xabi's fault. The players are at fault as well. Because do you think it's normal that it takes 65 minutes and a red card and a goal against you to get your ass into gear? Because we played better with 10 men than we did with the 11. Why? Because they didn't feel like running for the first 65 minutes. This is completely unacceptable at every single level. I am absolutely livid. And by the way, I have to just, I watched the game last night and, with my uncle and some of his friends, and, one guy's Swiss, supports Bayern Munich, the other one's French and supports PSG, and they were watching and they're like, what the hell's going on with the refs? Like, what the hell was that? Like, by the way, this is not an excuse, so please don't give me the, oh, you're making excuses. No, I'm not. Two things can be true at the same time, okay? Two things can be true at the same time. We play like crap. This is the worst Real Madrid I've seen in ages, and Xabi needs to go immediately, but it doesn't help that we have the worst and most corrupt refs in the world. And this league has been destroyed as far as I'm concerned. But do you know that, look, the refs, Carreras got a red card for saying, quote unquote, eres malísimo. Do you know what eres malísimo means in Spanish? It means, dude, you're so bad. Do you give a red card to a player for saying, dude, you're so bad? Okay, Jude almost lost an eye yesterday. And who gets the yellow card? Jude. For coming on the pitch too early or some nonsense. This is insane. Okay, this league has lost all its credibility. It's one of the biggest exports that Spain has as a brand. And it's gone to hell in a handbasket. Okay, let's go back to the sporting stuff. Militao's injury, this one is muscular. And this one is because he's overplayed. And this one is because maybe he needed to rest. And if we don't have enough center backs and we don't have enough defenders, that is planning. And that is up to the management team. And that is their responsibility to make sure we have enough bodies to defend like a proper team. Okay? Militao's injury is going to be incredibly costly for us. Because we all know how well he's been playing lately and how absolutely crucial he has been. And you got to give him credit for managing to get back from 2 ACLs. But this one was muscular, and this one I blame on Xabi and the management team. Look, I'm really scared of the City match because this is potentially a disaster. The only thing that you can hang your hat on, is that historically Real Madrid plays well against big teams, and that is true. It is true that we play better against big teams, and it's true that when we want to, we can, our heart sometimes overcomes our lack of play and all that kind of stuff. That is the only thing that you can hang your hat on going into the City match, because otherwise there's nothing you can hang your hat on. And I am petrified of that match, because if we play the way we did yesterday, we're going to walk out with 7 or 8 goals against, and the Bernabeu, they're going to set it on fire. Okay. And I might be one of them. Okay. I had to tell you guys all this. I'm absolutely livid. Okay, I'll try to calm down. But anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Xabi needs to go. He needs to go now. And I can't see any more of this crap. All right, thanks for joining me. I love you guys. And despite everything, a la Madrid.